guys, Brandon Smiley here from ThirstGym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the short-seated alternating Arnold Press. All right, for this exercise, you're going to want a small box, and we can vary the height on this. I'll talk about that here in a second. You're going to also want a small object. Out here I've got a dodgeball, but you can also use a foam roller, a yoga block, anything like that that you can place between your legs. You just want to make sure it's not super big, something you can fit between your legs to keep your hips in line. Now, for the box height, you're going to want to pick something that gets you ideally in a short-seated position or almost like a deep squat. However, if you do happen to have very limited hip mobility or hip flexor-based issues or anterior hip pain, this may be too low of a box, and that would be me. I'm going to do it for today's demo's purposes. I'll be okay for that, but I personally would raise this box up for me if I were actually doing the exercise in my training program. But I would still use my object that I have as well. So just adjust that box depending on what you need. And then we're going to get in our short-seated position. I've got 2 dumbbells here as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ball, I'm going to place it into my adductors. I want to make sure that from this position here, my feet are completely flat. So you can bring them out to wherever you need to, so long as you can get them flat. But if you can keep them flat, bring them up as close as you possibly can so that you don't have any issues, but also so that you can feel your hamstrings and your adductors doing this. If they're too far away, then you're gonna feel that your toes are starting to lift up. And if you're too close, you're starting to actually having to lean backwards to do everything, okay, in my case with limited mobility. So right in the middle spot's good. And then we're going to take our dumbbells. We're going to then get in our Arnold position. So that's going to be elbows basically towards our knees here. We're not going to rest them there, but I'm just showing you where they would be. And then I'm going to actually come in a nice good upright position. And I'm just going to alternate back and forth with my traditional Arnold press, making sure that my feet are flat. I'm squeezing that ball, owning my position through each rep, and really trying to keep my elbows elevated as well as I do the exercise. Now, the reason this works well is that one, we want our feet flat, and this squeeze is going to open up our pelvis a little bit. It's going to give us some space. My back is actually intentionally rounded in a good way, so it's going to allow, if you have somebody that has that extended base posture, this is going to get all that to relax. It's going to keep our ribs down. You're going to feel a lot of abs, hamstrings, and inner thighs. That's very normal. Chances are, if you're feeling a lot of that, you need an exercise like this. The Arnold position, what's nice, by having our hands here, that brings our scapulas around. We're in a nice position here. That's going to continue to allow opening or expansion of the backside while we're here. And then alternating is just good quality movement for the ribs and the scapula, building some shoulder musculature and pressing overhead safely. If you happen to have any kind of shoulder issues, I would avoid this exercise just because of the way that you're going overhead. There's different variations. I'd be more to help you find a good variation for that if you let me know in the comment section below. But overall, when I program this exercise, I usually like it for 2 to 4 sets of anywhere from 6 to 12 reps per side. 12 is a lot, but for many people trying to hold this position, they're not going to be able to use a max amount of load. So by increasing the reps quite a bit, we can make sure that we still get some quality stimulation and some movement about the rib cage and all that great stuff. So if you haven't had any questions, just let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Have a great day.